show you guys what's going on. It's stuck. We're starting over. Hello homemakers, I'm Melinda and I'm cooking my way through Betty Crocker's 1971 recipe card library. And today we're making strawberry pies. Alright, strawberry pies is from section N, favorite family desserts, and it's card number 11. I'm excited for this one because there's two pies on this card. The one on the front is the strawberry minute pie, which is basically a Jello pie. I've never seen Jello served in a pie crust before, but it's just strawberries and strawberry Jello in a pie crust, some whipped cream on top. Seems simple, we'll see how it tastes. And then the second one on the back of the card is strawberry coconut pie, which is basically a coconut pudding filling. You use something called Dream Whip, which I've never used before, and then fresh strawberries on top. They both seem pretty simple. It seems like they're going to be light and airy and refreshing, perfect for summertime. So let's get started. Okay, so for both of our strawberry pies, we're going to be using the Betty Crocker pie crust mix. I have mixed feelings on this product, but we're going to give it another shot and see how it goes. Then for the strawberry minute pie, we need boiling water and strawberry flavored gelatin. And then this recipe calls for frozen strawberries. I don't really like the taste of frozen strawberries. It doesn't really make sense to me to use them in here, so I'm going to try to use fresh strawberries. We'll see how it goes. I have a plan. I've done some research. I feel confident in what I'm about to do. So we're going to go off book a little bit and we're going to use fresh strawberries instead of frozen. Then I also got whipped cream for the topping. Then for the strawberry coconut pie, we need an envelope of dessert topping mix, which I found out is really Dream Whip. I just know that Dream Whip is not a General Mills product and that's why they don't call for it by name in the recipe. But I've never used this before, we'll see how it goes. We also need some flaked coconut, and then it calls for a can of ready to serve vanilla pudding, but I bought a box of vanilla pudding and we're gonna make it ourselves with some milk. We also need the milk for the Dream Whip as well. And then we put some more sliced strawberries on top. So we have everything we need. Let's start making some Jello. All right, we have some boiling water. I'm going off book. I'm not following the recipe. And maybe this is a terrible idea. And maybe I should just be following the recipe because that's the whole point of my television program. But it says that you use a cup of boiling water and a package of the flavored gelatin. The recipe on the Jello box says to use a cup of boiling water and a cup of cold water. And I'm trying to figure out why we're not adding that cup of cold water according to the recipe. Is it because we're supposed to put the frozen strawberries in and those would, like, as they defrost, add more water to the Jello? Or is that because they intentionally want it to be thicker and less Jello-y in the context of a pie? What the recipe wants me to do right now is put frozen strawberries into this and then let it set for a while and then you put that in the pie crust. What I'd like to do is make the pie crust, arrange sliced strawberries nicely in the bottom of it, and then pour this on top once it's a little set and like thickened. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna put the extra water in because that might ruin it. I think I'm just gonna let this start to set up and try to follow the recipe as closely as possible, just with fresh strawberries instead of frozen. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let this set, we're gonna make the pie crust, and we'll proceed onwards. We should make the pudding first though. Yeah, let's make the pudding first. Okay, so now we're gonna make the pudding for the other pie. Like I said, the recipe just called for pre-made pudding in a can, which they don't even do that anymore. So I'm just gonna make homemade pudding using the box, which, if I recall, when I did my Rocky Road Desserts episode, I was shocked by how quickly this pudding comes together. You literally just like mix it and it's pudding immediately, and that's freaky to me, and I don't know what kind of witchcraft is in this powder that makes it turn into pudding so quickly. But that's what we're gonna do. You just whisk 2 cups of milk with this powder and it becomes very yellow. I think I'm gonna call that done. It's still pretty loose, but it says it's gonna continue to thicken for 5 minutes. So I think we should go ahead and pop this in the fridge and let it continue to set, and then make our pie crusts. All right, it's time for the third of 4 boxed powders that we're going to use in this episode. This is the pie crust mix, and it makes 2 crusts, and that's what we need. We need 2 crusts. So let's see. There's my girl. There's the powder. The instructions are for 1 crust, but we're making 2 crusts. So it says half the pouch mix. So I'm gonna do the whole pouch mix. And then it says 2 tablespoons and then 2 teaspoons. So 4 tablespoons and 4 teaspoons. 4 tablespoons, 4 teaspoons. I think that there's already shortening in it. That's why it's clumpy. Okay, I'm getting distracted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stir pie crust mix in cold water until pastry forms a ball. Okay. Now what? Flatten ball into a round or 2 rounds for 2 crust pie on a floured surface. Roll 1.5 inches larger than an upside down 9-inch pie plate. But I should add that one of these pies is an 8-inch pie and one of them is a 9-inch pie. We'll call that one the 8-inch pie. So on a floured surface with a floured rolling pin, we're going to try not to get flour on ourselves. And we're going to try to roll this out. But I'm feeling confident. I think that's the key. You don't want the pie crust to know that you're afraid of it. Oh, it says roll 1.5 inches larger than an upside down pie plate. We're seeing what we can do. Okay, fold in half, place in pie plate. So what I've done in the past, which hasn't worked, is you kind of roll it. Oh no, it's stuck to the board. Oh no, I put so much flour on the board. Why is it sticking? Let me show you guys what's going on. It's stuck. We're starting over. It's still a weird shape, but I think this will be better. Don't rip. Okay. Come over here. It'll be rustic. All my pies are very rustic. Okay, fold edge of pastry under, even with rim. What am I doing here? Since this is the Jello pie, you're gonna see more of the crust, I feel like, than the other pie. So I want it to look good. I guess you just have to make a lot of pies before you get good at this. And I haven't made that many pies, and therefore I'm not very good at it. It doesn't look too terrible, right? Okay. Let's repeat with the other one. All right, so before we put it in the oven, we are gonna quote unquote blind bake these. And so some people will put like pie weights in them or something. But what this instruction says to do is just to poke them with a fork. So you're supposed to poke all over the bottom and sides of the crust. And I think that will hopefully be enough to prevent them from like bubbling too much. So we're gonna put these in the oven at 450 for 8 to 10 minutes, and then when they look done, we'll take them out and let them cool completely. All right, so the pie crust is out of the oven and cool, and now it is time to assemble the Jello pie because I didn't do it before. So this has been in the fridge for like an hour. It's starting to get thick. I kind of thought it'd be thicker by now, but that's okay. So we're gonna put the fresh strawberries in the bottom of the pie crust to kind of, I don't know, I have an idea that I want to do like a really cute kind of, I don't know, flower shape. So basically I'm putting a whole strawberry in the middle, and then maybe I had some really big strawberries, so maybe I do big strawberries around, and then you just kind of go in a pattern around those. And what I'm imagining will happen is that all the Jello will kind of soak in fill in the gaps in between the strawberries. So now I'm gonna take this Jello and just pour it into the pie crust. I don't know, it's still not very set. Maybe I should wait a little longer. Okay, let's wait a little longer. Okay, it's time to make the dream whip. So I've never used this before. I'm assuming it's like an alternative to Cool Whip. Like it's just gonna make a whipped cream topping, but from a powder. I don't know why you would use this instead of just whipping your own cream. Maybe it's like more stabilized or something. But there's 2 packets in the box. We're gonna use 1 packet. What I also thought was interesting about this is that you use an envelope of Dream Whip, a 1/2 cup of cold milk, and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. So they didn't even bother putting the vanilla in the powder. I mean, you're using milk, and I thought like maybe it's a shortcut if you don't have milk, like you can just make whipped cream with this and water, but you're still using milk. So it doesn't really make a ton of sense to me, but whatever, we're doing it, we're using it. We'll see what happens. It just says to whip it, right? Yeah. Beat whipped topping mix, milk and vanilla in a large bowl. Okay. So there goes the powder. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so we're just going on low speed until blended. So I'm adding the vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon, and I'm adding a 1/2 cup of milk. Yeah, we're just gonna mix this until blended. Alright, so I beat it until a soft peaks formed, which, oh, it's like powder at the bottom still. Cool, cool. Okay, I don't know what to do about that. There's still powder at the bottom. Just mix it in. I have no idea why you would use Dream Whip instead of whipped cream, because it looks exactly the same, tastes exactly the same. I don't want to go too stiff with that because it says soft peaks, so I guess we'll leave it. And we'll start to assemble our filling. So we need 2 cups of vanilla pudding, which I think I made more than 2 cups, so. Oh. Something about this scoop of vanilla pudding is just tickling me. Okay, that goes in the bowl. That's 1 cup. Maybe this is 2 cups of pudding. 2 cups, 1 can of our ready vanilla pudding, 2 cups. This whole thing is 2 cups? Well, then I didn't even need another bowl. I could have just used the bowl as in. How was I supposed to know that a box of pudding made 2 cups? Then it says fold the topping and 1 cup of coconut into pudding. So let's get just a 1/2 cup. And that's another 1/2 cup. Take our Dream Whip. Plop it all in. So I guess we're just trying to make a light, airy coconut cream pudding mixture. Now we're gonna put this in the pie shell. So, okay, I have a crazy idea. I wanted to serve one of the pies in this pie dish I have. I think it's a pie serving dish. I don't, why else would it have such a tall lip? Like, you can't put a cake on here. So I think it's for pie. And I think my original plan was just to put this in here and serve it like that. But I'm wondering if this, because it's so free sliding, if I could put it in there right now. This might be a terrible idea. That was a great idea. Perfect. Oh, that's gonna look so cute. Okay, now we put this in here, and my pie crust looks very small. So it might not even fit all of this filling, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Pour mixture into baked pie shell. Sprinkle remaining coconut on top. So what I've done, this wasn't in the recipe, but I toasted some more coconut, and I think that I don't know, it'll just like look a little cuter than white coconut, right? So I'm gonna sprinkle this on top, and then we're gonna put strawberries on top of this later after it comes out of the fridge. I don't know if it's supposed to go in a dish like this, but I don't know. It's something, right? It's cute. What else am I gonna use this dish for? Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the fridge. It says for at least 2 hours, and then serve it. Okay, Jello is such a fickle beast because it was not solidified at all, and now it might be too solidified. Anyway, let's just put it in. Gonna kind of push it around. Well, I waited just a little bit too long. And now it's chunky. And it's not even enough Jello. Like, I kind of wish it went to the sides more. But that's what it is. Okay. I'm just kind of pushing it in between all the strawberries. I just want a little bit more over here, please. And here, please. I thought this would be the one that goes well, not the other one. But this would be the easy one. But now it turns out this is the one I mess up. Okay. Well, so that way we would have had like a really nice surface, but instead the surface looks a little mushy and gushy. But I'm hopeful that when I put it back in the fridge, it'll continue to Jello-fy, and that way we'll at least get a nice clean slice when we slice it. But this one might be a bust. Oops, sorry, I'm doing what I can. Okay, let's put it in the fridge and we'll check in on it in a couple hours. Think of the pies. Pie number 1, pie number 2. Don't come out real. It's really messy. A pie unveiling, a pie unveiling. Here's the weird Jello one. He's the Jello that I love. Anyway. Alright, these pies have been in the fridge for a few hours. How long specifically? 220. 3 hours. they've been in the fridge for 3 hours. We're gonna do the finishing touches and then we'll do a taste. So for the Jello pie, which has solidified again. Ooh, it's sliding around. You can see on the photo that they have these like whipped cream swirls and then another strawberry in each whipped cream spot. So I think there's 4 on the pie. So we'll do 4. Ooh, cutie. Do another one. Okay, now I'm gonna take these whole strawberries and put 1 on each little spot. Cute. Okay, complete. Now, this one doesn't get any whipped cream. I'm sorry, it's already so fluffy and creamy. This one, I don't know because there was no photo how I'm supposed to decorate it. But I did some sliced strawberries. And I'm just gonna maybe place them around in like a star shape. I might have sliced a lot more strawberries than I needed to. That's kind of cute, right? Alright, it's the moment of truth. I hate that I have to cut into them because they're so beautiful. But I have to taste them. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna start with the Jello pie. I'm gonna start with a weak point in the crust. Okay, it's not a good sign. I don't want this whole berry, but I guess I'm gonna smush it over and take it. Okay. Okay. Well, my biggest concern was alleviated, which is that I was afraid that the Jello wouldn't stay Jello when you cut it. But it is holding its shape, which is amazing. So that one worked. Let's make room, make room. Okay. Now, okay. You know, the first piece never comes out good, you know? Okay, I'm gonna start with the pudding pie because I'm less curious what that's gonna taste like. So the pudding is kind of gooey. As you can see, it fell apart on the plate. It didn't hold its shape. I just kind of have a bite that's like part of a strawberry, part of some crust, part of some Jello. Yeah, so the way I did this means that it's a lot of fresh strawberries, kind of with little shards of Jello in between. So it's not like a Jello pie. It's like a fresh strawberry pie held together by some Jello. Trying to get some like Jello and crust to happen at the same time. It's good. They're both a little messy, as you can see. Neither of them are like super easy desserts to eat. They're good. And I like strawberry Jello with fresh strawberries. It's fun. So yeah, let's just take a bite of this Jello. Yeah, Jello and a crust is kind of a weird combo, but I'm not mad at it. Okay. 2 strawberry pies. Would we even call this one a strawberry pie though? It's a coconut cream pie, but I happen to dress with some strawberries on top. Okay, that was fun. All right, strawberry pies, we did it. They were super fun to make. I had never made either of these types of pie before. I never made a coconut cream pie or a Jello pie. So it was a fun experience. Nothing went too wrong. And it's kind of crazy that like just with a quart of strawberries and 4 boxes of powder, I was able to make 2 beautiful looking pies and they look so good. I'm like so impressed with how they turned out. I just think like when you think of like mid-century atomic age, you know, like Mad Men, there's a picnic in the backyard, like these pies are out on the table. Like they look perfect. They look just like I would expect from that era. So I'm really impressed with myself. And they were kind of good. They were a little messy to eat, but aren't all pies kind of messy to eat? So I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 red spoons. Okay, back in the box. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, happy homemaking.